Welcome to the Protagonist Pub. My name is Tammy, and this is where characters gather. And on this lovely July morning, we are going to talk about my reread and the book club choice for July of 2025. That is Love in the Eternal City by Rebecca W. Martin. This was a reread for me. It's Catholic fiction. And as longtime viewers of this channel will know, I reread incredibly infrequently. And I think in the last year I've had 3 rereads. 2 have been for book club, and 1 was Little Women. Little Women did not hold up for me, and the 2 for book club did. So the shocking thing is I read this originally less than a year ago because it released in August of 2024. And I loved it back then. I didn't think it was possible, but I will tell you, I loved it even more on a reread. The faith in this book, the characters in this book, the banter, the emotional connections between characters, it's all just superb. And that's even more surprising, especially me, the lover of big books. I say that, and I haven't read a single big book at all for Big Book Summer, or haven't completed one yet. This book comes in at just under 300 pages. Shocking is not the correct word. From the opening chapter of this book, I am instantly hit, just drawn in, loved every second of it. I knew what was going to happen, and still, it brought me to tears. Pickles, nobody wants to listen to you chatter. It's probably best characterized as a romance, given the title of the series is a Swiss Guard romance. But it's so much more than just a romance. There's a suspense portion. There's the forgiveness aspect for everybody in this book that, is struggling with that. There's mental health representation. There's faith. There's, history woven in. It's just all the things without it being a book trying to do too much story. So the premise is our heroine is Elena. She had her engagement ended 6 months ago. It was a very bad breakup, and she has now accepted a job in Rome with the Catholic Coalition, which is a immigrant charity. And so she moves to Rome. It's initially a 6-month assignment. And she was there as a student way back in her college days. But, she's older now, and she's actually living there. And she has no intentions of, meeting a man, let alone falling in love with one. She's just there to work on herself and reevaluate her life choices. And what she discovers is this beautiful community of people, friends her own age, her landlords, which adopt her as, their own child. Her boss is very outgoing and supportive. She rediscovers is the wrong word. Her faith grows stronger while in Rome, and meeting Benedict, who is our male hero and a corporal in the Swiss Guard, is sort of the icing on the cake. And when they first meet, it's a great meet cute, and she has no intentions of starting a relationship, and neither does he. And it just kind of naturally develops. And he falls first. It's just this beautiful love story of two mid to late 20-somethings maturing together, and in the process falling in love. It is truly one of those transformative books, in that sense that we could all learn something from the beauty that is this book. The forgiveness storylines are powerful and heartfelt, and they will tug at your heartstrings, and they will ask you to reflect on your own life, and not in a preachy, you could do better sort of way, but in a be more aware of your own shortcomings sort of way, if that makes sense. And I love this book, and I know that she's turned in the first draft of the second book, whose story is going to be when this book concludes. And I am so here for it. I will pre-order that without a heartbeat, and I very rarely pre-order books. There is just something approachable and magical, and there's no magic in this book, but magical and natural in the way she writes and the way relationships progress and develop and change as the series goes on. And the overarching theme, if you want to put it that way, of this book is that you can only move forward in life when you forgive yourself and open yourself up to being hurt. And it isn't hammered over your head. It's just one of those adult realizations our character has to come to, and you realize that in your own life, you have to come to that same realization to move forward. Truly, this book is amazing. And one of the many quotes, I did not tab the book because it was a reread, but occurs in chapter 7. And our heroine, Elena, is talking to her therapist back in the States. Something has happened, and so she's, checking in to make sure. And her therapist gives her one of the best lines we all need to internalize and understand is truly the truth. And she says, But comparison is the thief of joy. Remember. How often do we all fall into the comparison trap? How often do I know I do? Do we all fall into the she's so much prettier than I, she's so much thinner than I, he has more subscribers than me. If only I had more money, if only we had, the boat like my neighbor has, or if my hair was, longer or curlier, or if my dogs weren't such a pain in the tuchus like the neighbors. It doesn't change the things we were wishing were true. It just robs from ourselves the contentment and the joy in our own life. And we all fall into that trap. I am no different than anybody else. I have to remind myself not to fall into it too. And I will tell you that some of the most touching scenes in this book have to do with Benedict and his father. And I don't want to give anything away. Just that relationship, I can't reach it, baby girl, is very fractured, and I love the growth in this book. So I still highly, highly recommend this book. I am so glad that y'all chose it to read for July. I hope each and every one of you that read it, whether or not you participated in Discord, fell in love with it too. The like always, the Discord will stay up. But the absolute just compelling read. I read it in one day. Again, I read it in one day because I couldn't put it down. It moves at a decent pace. Our characters are engaging. The faith is terrific. You don't have to be Catholic to appreciate the faith, but it is definitely a Catholic book. And I love how beautifully expressive this book is about Catholicism. I love the interweaving of many foreign languages to an American. Greek, French, Latin, Italian are all interwoven in this story as natural as could be. And much like Fireball and her love of dragons, I love this book. So, unsurprisingly, I'm not unhauling it. It will stay on my shelves forever. And it was an easy 5-star for me. So, I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you will join us for the August book, which, as of the date of this filming, is still up in the air. And I will insert the picture of the winning one here once I know what that is. So, as you can tell, Fireball is very happy. I hope you've read it. If not, and you're just even remotely intrigued, I promise you will enjoy it. Leave a comment down below, like and subscribe, and I will see you here next time at the Protagonist Pub.